Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jared. Thanks for coming on another adventure here at Turkey Ridge. Today we are in the middle of the 80 acres that was clear cut, and it's kind of an ugly, nasty looking day. I mean, it is just gray out here. It's foggy. You can barely even see the hill over there. If I had to guess, it's about a mile visibility, maybe even a half a mile visibility right now. But I'm out here in this section specifically because we are talking about maybe putting a field somewhere in this location. Right now what we're talking about is, it might not come up too well on camera, but this like kind of flat spot right here, this is only like a section of it. It keeps going further, but there's a lot of stuff right here in the way and it's hard to tell. But this is kind of a flat area, and I think this is where we're gonna put a field. I'm gonna show you all a little bit better once we kind of, you know, get working on the project. But right here, the loggers left a lot of cedar trees. You can see there's a bunch of cedar trees still left right here. I got one right here next to me too. And we want to get rid of those. We don't really want cedar trees on the property. They're not really that great for the habitat. They shade out the area underneath them completely with their canopy, and they don't allow really anything else to grow underneath the cedar trees. They're just so thick, and they suck up so much moisture from the ground. There's a lot of like not so good things about cedar trees. We want to plant some pine trees in this area back. We want this to become another pine forest. So cedar trees just really aren't going to cut it for us. We need to get rid of these. And as you can see right here, there's a lot of debris and stuff from the logging, but there's not much growing underneath here from the cedar trees because they're shading so much. They're taking so much nutrients. They're taking so much water. If we want a better crop of pine trees in the future, we need to get rid of the cedar trees in this area and pretty much all over the rest of the property. Okay, so I've cut about 5-6 of these cedar trees down so far, and I'm starting to notice that it's a little dangerous doing this because of how much debris and stuff is on the ground. It's hard for me to get out of the way of the fallen tree. So I've cut a couple on the edge right here that were easy for me to access, kind of, but some of these I'm a little bit more nervous about, so we might save those for another day or another time. Maybe let it go, let a lot of this stuff decay over a year or so and then come back and cut them. Or we might come back with some bigger equipment and take them out. We'll see. And honestly, you should be wearing some chaps and some ear protection, eye protection, you know, stuff like that. Be a little bit more safe than I'm being, okay? It rained all day yesterday, like all day, from like 9 in the morning, a little bit of sprinkle here and there till 12, and then 12, it literally, like lunchtime, it rained all the way till like past midnight. And look how much water is coming through this culvert now. This looks cool. That looks so cool. And then we got another little waterfall right here next to the culverts right here behind me, and all this runoff from the cutover right here. A lot of it's coming and washing out right here and going into the creek right there. All right, guys, so we are at a different section of the property and we got a new project going on. Y'all got a smudge. So as I pulled up to this section of the property, guys, I'm scouting a little bit, and check that out. That's a nice little rub right there. And actually, I don't know how well y'all can see it from here, but there's another cedar tree that's right there that's got a nice rub on it too. That one's a little bit bigger, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm not looking for rubs. We are going to try to do some prescribed burns on the property this year. We've never really done that before. My grandpa has owned this property for about 14 years, and we have never burned a single section of this property. But we want to get back into the habit of doing that because we know that's going to better the habitat. That's going to reduce the fuel load if there is ever a wildfire that comes through this area. But the main thing is what we really want to do is improve the habitat. So right here, I'm on a trail. The buggy's right here. We got a bunch of equipment, and we are on the edge of some pine trees. This is a pine plantation right here. That's on this side. This is the trail, and then on this side is all some hardwoods, and then this way is the property line. How do I know it's the property line? Because the trees are marked with paint. You can see the trees are marked. So what we're going to do is we want to burn this hardwood section, and we also want to burn the pine tree section as well. So I'm going to come through here, and I'm going to try to make some fire lanes along the property line, because we don't want to burn the neighbor's property. We want to ensure that the area we want to burn is the only area that we do burn. We don't want the fire to escape our burn area and become a wildfire. So I'm going to come through here. I got this backpack blower. It did rain a bunch yesterday, so I don't know how well this is going to work. The leaves are going to be very wet. The ground is very wet. I don't know how well the blower is going to work, but it does pretty good. Let's see. Okay, so I have made it all the way to this creek that we have running right here. This is a very wide creek, and this is going to act as a fire break for us too, a fire lane, a natural fire lane, this creek. The fire is not going to jump over this creek. We obviously, whenever we do come and burn this section, this area, we will be monitoring, making sure it doesn't jump over, but this creek is a natural fire lane for us. So you can kind of see what I did right here. There is you can see the leaves like on both sides of the fire lane. There's still some green vegetation through this fire lane right here that you could see. So we might wind up coming back with a weed eater. I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, we might be coming back with a weed eater to try to suppress some of the green vegetation, but I don't know how necessary that's going to be. This green vegetation is very wet. I don't suspect the fire to go through this green vegetation, and honestly, this fire break right here is not a very long fire break. This is a small section, so we could monitor this no problem, and maybe not even have to worry about weed eating this this green section that you see through right here. But I'm blowing about a 5, 6, 7 foot lane through, making sure the leaves are pushed to both sides. The leaves is what's really going to burn. The leaves are like the biggest fuel load that I'm concerned about and worried about. The green vegetation, we could probably blow that out with the blower, or with some rakes or mats or something like that, or water, whenever we do come burn. So on my way back right here, I'm going to go ahead and blow it in the opposite direction just to make sure everything's away. Maybe make it slightly bigger, and then we're going to go over to another section and blow some more leaves. Also, while I'm right here, I think it's worth mentioning that this is one of the sections that we're going to burn that we did hack and squirt. As you can see right here, this tree has the hack marks in it. We killed this tree. This tree is dead, and actually there are 3 really big trees right next to it that we didn't. This tree right here we hacked. This tree right here we hacked. This one's dead already. So we're really interested to see what this little section is gonna be, what kind of habitat this is gonna be with the hack and squirt, with the burning, and there should be a dynamite spot. All right, well, I did a little bit of work today. It's almost 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna head back to the camp, change, and go hunting, because still hunting season. I don't know about you guys, but I just love seeing the way water flows. I mean, this is pretty cool to me. I really enjoy seeing water. We are pretty wet right now. Oh man, all the trails we got water everywhere. Completely different from when we were trying to, you know, plant for our fall food plots, but hey, we get the moisture when we can and we don't complain about it. Last hunt of the season, Tuesday, January 31st. So, afternoon, let's see if we can do anything with it. The spot that I'm gonna go in tonight has had a few bucks traveling in the area. It's not necessarily any of them's core area, I would say, but they're definitely passing through. Hopefully we can make it happen. Hopefully one of them passes through tonight. We actually had a pretty decent season this year. I think we got up to about 12 deer shot this year. It's not terrible. It's a little bit on the lower end, which we knew that already, but we wound up actually getting a couple kills at the end of the season. Of those 12 killed, 3 of them were bucks. They were all 8 points. The largest one only weighed 140 pounds, but there were all some kind of younger deer on the younger side. The rest of them were all does, so that's just how it goes. Went all season. I hunted quite a few times. Didn't get a single deer this year. I easily could have shot a doe, and I easily could have shot quite a few spikes. I've seen a couple 4 points, but I think the best deer that I've seen all season long was that little 8 point in bow season. I wound up calling him Onyx. He traveled around the property. We got quite a few pictures of him, and he stayed all season long in and around the property. So that's just how it goes. Some seasons you do good, some seasons you don't get the opportunity. So this was my buck last year, and hopefully we can grow more like this on the property next year. We're looking forward to next year, and hopefully it'll be a good season. Okay, day 2. I actually already started this fire lane right here. I think this used to be an old trail, and it's just ridden so much, and it's a puddle of water now. So I went around it. I probably went maybe 200 yards into the woods already. GoPro batteries just don't last like they used to, do they? Anyway, like I was saying, I went about 200 yards already into this pine plantation right here. This is full of pine trees, all planted in rows. I would say that they're at least 20 years old now. It's time for a thinning. It's probably actually been time for a thinning for this section. And there's another section on the other side, the hardwoods. I don't know if you can kind of see it right there. And then there's another section way over there. But there's a creek that runs down the middle of this hardwoods, and this hardwood is kind of a buffer barrier in between the two sections of plantation pines. And so we're running a fire lane through to burn the pine trees and also to burn the hardwoods. And then the trail is going to act like the fire break on this side of the pine trees. So let's get going again. Who else really hates these government nozzles here? There we go. It ran out of fuel on me, so you had a little air in the line, needed to purge it out there. So I don't know how good of a clip this is gonna be, because I don't know how well y'all can hear me with this thing running on my back, but I kind of wanted to show y'all the line right here, the pine trees are on the left and all the hardwoods are on the right here. And I'm just blowing through and making a trail, a lane where there's no debris, no sticks, no leaves, no nothing in case the fire could jump to either side. If we want to burn one side, we don't want the fire to go on this side. If we want to burn this side, same thing, don't want the fire jumping. We want to contain the fire where we want to have the fire. Okay, so I'm on this same fire line right here. As you can see, I've been blowing. You can kind of see the line right here. And I came across this. So this is an old tree that has fallen down, and this fire lane is going to go literally right through the tree. So we're gonna have to come in here with a chainsaw and cut the section of the tree out and move it, because we don't want this obscuring our walking down to and from the fire line. Also right here too, if you notice, there are a couple of trees that are in the fire line, the fire lane. We will be coming and cutting some of these down too, so that way it makes it easier for us to travel this line as well. But I'm gonna call this halfway from me. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the buggy and go to the other end and work my way back toward this tree. And what I'm doing as well while I go back to the buggy over there is there's the tree right there that I said, I think it's about halfway. I'm blowing the line again because we're very wet right now, and all the debris isn't quite blowing off of the fire lane. So what I'm doing as I'm going back toward the buggy is I'm re-blowing it again for like the second time. So some of the stuff might have started to dry out since the first pass I went, or some debris I might have missed. So this is just a good practice just to get everything out of this fire line. Just a little wet in some spots. just a little. It's really quiet in the woods today. But that's about to change because I'm about to put that backpack blower back on my back. I'm now at the southern end of this pine stand that we got right here. You can see the trail right here comes down, pine trees are right here, and then this is like just a point where it stops, and then it goes back that way. You can actually kind of see where there used to be a bit of a trail, and so this is where we're going to make the fire line come. This trail is going to act as the other fire line, and it will contain the fire in those pine trees and in these hardwoods. What I'm also going to do is you can maybe see about right there or so where my finger is, there's a creek that runs through this right here, and that creek is also going to act as a fire break as well. So we're going to take this fire line, bring it all the way to the creek. Creek will act as a fire lane, road will act as a fire lane. We're going to have a fire lane in between the pine trees and the hardwoods, and we're going to be good to go. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up because this video has been long, I'm sure, between yesterday and today. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Jared. Thanks for coming on another adventure at Turkey Ridge, and I'll see you next time. Later.